Hey, this is Jason Morris with the Facebook group Real Estate Agents That Really Work, and I'm on the phone with Cameron Evans this afternoon. And Cameron is he's using one of Redx's newest products called Geo Leads. But Cameron, tell us a little about yourself and the market you're in.
Yes. First of all, Jason, thank you so much for having me on this call. I really appreciate it. And I kind of admire all the stuff that you put up on Facebook, all your videos and whatnot. I'm just getting into watching your YouTube channel, all the videos that you put up on there. But yeah, my name is Cameron. I've been in real estate it's coming on, so June was my 2-year anniversary. So yeah, anniversary. So, like 2 years and 4 months. And, man, my market, the average price out here is about $300,000, and it's pretty. I mean, we're in the market, like I'm sure, like the rest of the nation, where it's very low supply and high demand right now, and homes when
you're in California, right?
Yes.
What area of California are you in?
So I'm in Southern California. So San Bernardino County, Riverside County. It's called Inland Empire, and then those two counties are within the Inland Empire, and then there's like cities within all those counties.
And what's your average price point out there?
Our average price point in my city is $300,000, and it's starting to raise to like $315,000, $325,000.
Wow. And so, like, when you take a listing, like average days on the market, what are you looking at?
So average over here, probably 30 to 40 days. My listings, like, I want to say 13 days, the average home, like, my listing's been on the market.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, so anything you list, it's as long as you're kind of in the ballpark as far as price, you're going to get paid, and that's
exactly.
It's going to be a paycheck that's around $10,000. Is that right?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Exactly.
Man, that's fantastic. See, my our price range is so much less than that in the market that I'm in. That's $300,000, $350,000 is that's on the high end in the market that I'm in. So, man, you've been in the business for only 2 years. What's your production look like this year?
So I'm coming up on, so my first year, I didn't sell one property. I studied a lot, and I was studying a lot of those videos, those YouTube videos where they interview like top agents that are selling like a ridiculous amount of properties. And I was just doing a lot of studying. Yeah, I was doing a lot of studying rather than execution. And so my second year, when I ran into a business, I wouldn't say guru, but he's kind of like my business mentor. He owns his own marketing team, and he's been around real estate forever. He kind of told me, he's like, you know what, you kind of have to switch the gear from learning and now to executing. And so the second year that I was in business, it's coming up on, well, this is the second year. It's coming up on 10 transactions this year.
Wow. Okay, so you're about 10 transactions. So at about $300,000 a piece, so you've done a little bit over $3 million, and you're talking about you're probably going to end up with 12 or 14 transactions for the year?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hopefully, as long as everything goes as planned, and I keep following up with the leads, like, yes.
Man, that's pretty strong. And how long have you been making calls and getting on the phone? Everyday prospect.
It's funny. Like, I actually just started consistently doing it. At first I tried it. That was one of the first things that I tried when I first got into real estate, and I literally called for like 3 or 4 months straight, and I didn't get one thing. I was calling expired leads a lot, but like I said, I was watching a lot of YouTube videos on these big guys, and they all they were doing was producing from expired FSBOs, Circle Prospect, and I'm like, man, I know this works. Like I just know these leads work. And
yeah,
so
it does.
I started to,
in your market, you're probably, I mean, those people are getting hammered every day. They're getting like tons and tons of calls, aren't they?
Yeah, that's the number one objection out here is leave me alone. You're probably the seventh agent that called me.
That's funny. That's funny. So you started like consistently making calls like how long ago? Like 30 days ago?
Yeah, somewhere around there. Like 30 days ago, I started consistently building my pipeline of just people. Well, that's all it's been right now. Just people that are looking to sell in the future. And
Yeah.
I talked to them, and they're like, yeah, my home came off the market, and we're just going to take a break for just right now. And I'm still like, I have accountability partner, I have a role play partner, and I'm just getting better, like better and better and better. And I know it takes time to really see those follow-ups really start to pop off. And so I'm just in that process right now. And I mean, until I ran into Geo Leads, using Geo Leads is, I mean, amazing. I just started it last week, and like,
Yeah.
like I,
Yeah.
oh, go ahead.
You're asking me about that. I mean, that's a brand new product with Redx, and I'm a big fan of Redx. I haven't used Geo Leads, but I mean, they offer my group. If you call Redx and you tell them, hey, I'm in Jason Morris's group, they'll waive setup fees, and they've got some packages and incentives. But I haven't used Geo Leads yet. What exactly is Geo Leads?
So GeoLeads is basically you click one property and you can pull up to 100 of the nearest properties to that property, and it pulls up all their cell phone and all their like cell phone. There's some cell phones and there's some landlines. So I think of it as a more efficient way of calling, especially with I have an auto dialer that calls 300 numbers an hour, so it's really efficient.
Oh, cool, man. So basically, you're calling around with Geo Leads. You pick an address, so like it
Hmm.
just sold or just listed, and it
Hmm.
pulls 100 numbers like in a radius.
Yes.
And so you're actually calling around just listed or just sold, or what are you calling around?
Yes. So one of the listings that I have in escrow right now, we put it in escrow in a week, and we had 3 offers on it, and we put it in escrow $15,000 above asking. And so that's that's literally what I'm telling the neighbors. I I really that's I'm a guy, Jason. I like getting straight to the point. I understand that people in general, our most valuable asset is our time. And so the last thing I want to do is waste anybody's time on the phone. And so I literally call them and just introduce myself and just let them know that, like, hey, there's a hot market in your neighborhood and there's a lot of buyers. And so, do you know any neighbors that's looking to sell? And they say no. And so that's when I get into, hey, have you ever thought about selling? And literally, I mean, it's the results, like, just from those 2 questions, like, I haven't had anybody tell me like they had a neighbor that's looking to sell, but I mean, I had a guy that told me just the other day, like, yeah, we've actually been thinking about moving. And so I was like,
Wow.
okay. And then obviously I get into all the rest of the scripts. Where are you guys thinking about moving to? How soon? Why are you guys moving? And so, and then get into scheduling an appointment.
So so you've been using Geo Leads for only like 30 days, and
Hmm.
you've already got one you listed, and you got multiple offers, and it's already in escrow. And roughly what like price point is that in? Like, is that in the $300,000 price range, or is it more or less?
That one's a little bit less. The neighborhood that I'm calling in, it's a little bit less. So it's at 275, 280.
275, 280. But still, man,
Mm-hmm.
that's like a $7,000 $8,000 commission check that you're going to make from using this product for 30, 40 days.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
That's insane. And you were telling me on the call that you've been doing. So, like, how many appointments and stuff have you been setting using Geo Leads? Like, typically, how long are you making calls for when you when
Uh,
you log in?
so I'm averaging, let me see, because I just started calling them at lunchtime. So from 12 to 1:30, but I'm averaging like 60 minutes. And so, because like having the auto dialer, it goes through the whole list. It goes through all the numbers. And so I
Okay,
just go through that. Yeah, I go through that whole
so you're
number. I
calling
just
like all 100 people that you pull up.
exactly. And that's what I'm saying. It's like, it's super efficient. It's like in an hour, I'm getting the hold of the whole neighborhood with the auto dialer.
Wow. So you're only making calls for like an hour, hour and a half a day, and out of that 100 people, how many people would you say you call and somebody answers the phone and you talk to them?
I've been getting around 6 to 7%. So 6 to 7 people answer the phone.
Man, are you leaving voicemails for the ones that
No,
don't?
not at all. No, I don't. I don't really leave voicemails.
Oh man, if you leave voicemails, every now and then you'll have somebody call you back.
Man, I need to. I need to start doing that because on the auto dialer,
Yeah.
there's like an auto voicemail thing, and so maybe I should record one and then just
Yeah, I'd
leave
record
that
one and
there.
stick it in there. I call expires for sale owners and withdrawals, and I leave everybody a voicemail, and you wouldn't believe how many calls I actually get back from people.
Wow.
But if you don't leave a voicemail, you never get a call back. So yeah, man, I'd leave voicemails, and you might get extra. extra 1 or 2% calling you back,
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
man, so that's amazing. So how many calls, how many people do you need to talk to, or how many people are you actually talking to? What are your numbers to like get one appointment?
So it's averaging around like 6 to 8 people. 6 to 8 people is translating into one appointment.
And that's one appointment where you're actually going to the house and meeting them face to face?
Yes.
Man, that's unbelievable. Have you tried any of the other Redx products like expireds or for sale by owners or?
So I have right now. I have the expired subscription and the Geo Leads. I used to have for sale by owners. I had like a certain strategy that I wanted to test out with them, but unfortunately, like that strategy didn't work, and so I canceled the FISBOs. But yeah, as of right now, I just have expireds and the Geo Leads.
Man, that's awesome. With the expires, are you using just the regular Redx subscription, or are you using Redx Onyx?
Man, there's a guy in my office that has Onyx, and this guy is amazing. Like in 1 month, he's scheduled 10 listings with that Onyx thing and the Onyx product. And he told me, he's like, you need to get on Onyx. And you were the second person that actually told me about Onyx. And so I was like, man, I need to I need to get
Yeah,
Onyx.
I tell you what, Onyx. I've been using it for gosh, I think like a month and a half now. And say if there's 15 expires in my market, I'll have numbers for 14 of them. And
mm.
probably about I'd say they talked about their testing like 44%. Yeah, but somebody picking up the phone that actually lives at the house. But I'm getting more than that. I probably end up with about 60%. It's pretty interesting, man. I get a lot of. I've been getting in touch with a lot of people that I normally wouldn't have a number for using Onyx,
Mm.
man. You should try it out. It's a little bit more, but it's and they're not really marketing it because it's reserved for really more experienced agents that are actually calling. But
Mm.
but man, so how many appointments are you actually going on to get that one listing?
It took 3. Yeah, so
Took
far.
3 appointments. So about 1 out of 3.
Yes.
Man,
Yes.
that's not bad. Are you using like a pre-listing package, or what's your listing process look like?
And see, that's where I was talking about on Facebook, Jason. I'm a lot different from your average real estate agent, and when I told you no agent can really compete with me and with what I'm doing, it's not really a cocky or arrogant thing. It's just So this is the thing. This is the thing. In real estate, I want to provide as much value as I can to my clients, every single one. And I've literally linked up with a bunch of, I have one of the best social media marketing teams on my team. I have one of the best assistants that she's been doing business for 11 years, and she just enjoys escrow. Like, I think it's very hard to find somebody that enjoys escrow. And so I
Yeah.
have that, along with a photographer and a videographer for the media to put online for that home. And I'm not an agent that just takes photos with my phone and then I upload it to the MLS and just click it and then just wait for a buyer. I actually have like an open house process to get those couple offers, because this is the second property that I got above asking for doing this open house process, and we call them grand open houses. And my social media marketing team actually gave me this process, and it works phenomenally well. And so when I go in there, I basically explain all this to them, and it's funny because I was on the phone with a guy the other day, and he asked me. He said, well, you're not going to physically move me into the property, are you? And I laughed and I said, yes, we are. And so I've actually linked up with a moving company as well. And so our margins are so huge in real estate, Jason. And I think, like, you're telling me, wait, what, give up 30 to 40% of my paycheck to make sure my client is happy? That's a no-brainer for me.
Oh wow. So you've got a whole process you're following. So these grand open houses, I know you told me you're doing something a little bit different. So what are you calling a grand open house? Like what happens? What happens there? What's the process for it?
A lot of demand on the home. So it all starts with obviously taking high quality photos of the home. I think if McDonald's does high quality photos for a Big Mac that's $1.59, I think we should do, I don't care if the home is $50,000, we should be taking high quality photos of it. Now, obviously distressed properties, that's a different story. But every single home, starting by taking high quality photos of it, and then a lot goes into Facebook marketing. That's where I really build up the demand for that home. And so 7 to 10 days prior of actually doing the grand open house, we start Facebook ads for that home in that neighborhood. Excuse me. And so, so the Facebook ads are running, and at the same time, we're doing all the traditional marketing, the papered advertising. Now with these Geo Leads, I can call around the neighborhood, let everybody know 2 to 4 days before the grand open house that, hey, we're having an open house, come on out. And then, obviously, door knocking the 20, 25 homes before the open house, just inviting all the neighbors. And
so you're using Geo Leads too. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but you're using Geo Leads too. So before you have, like, say, your open house on Saturday, you're pulling up 100 people around the house and calling them, saying, "Hey, I'm having an open house on Saturday." So you're actually using Geo Leads in the dialer to promote your open house too.
Exactly. I look at it like this.
Wow.
I look at everything short term and long term. And so imagine somebody that they're on Facebook and they see my advertising for an open house that's down the street from theirs. And then they get a call from me or my ISA and it's like, hey, we're just want to invite you to the open house. And then they hear from me again. All they're hearing is Cameron Evans Real Estate, the Associates Realty Group, Real Estate, and this open house. And then they actually see my signs that we have branded with my face on it, the Associates Realty Group, my name, my number, and they see that as they're going out to their kid's soccer game and when they come back from the soccer game. And so they're like, And then they actually have a flyer on the door when they do come home on Saturday, inviting them out to the Sunday open house. And I just want to stay in front of these people. And so by the time they actually do come into the open house, I have them sign in on the iPad, and that's where I have them as basically now they get to experience, even if they're not looking to sell their home right now. I do the best I can. And see, that's why I say I'm a little bit unconventional, Jason. Every single person that comes in, the last thing, if they don't give me their phone number or their email, the last thing that I ask for is their Facebook. You'd be surprised that like a lot of people have Facebook. And so
everybody's got Facebook now.
Yeah, I look at Facebook as free marketing.
That's pretty interesting. So Geo Leads has really, since you've started using that, I mean, that's a brand, I mean, that product can't be but like 45 days old, I believe. But since you started using it, man, you've like really built you built a whole business around using it. You're calling the neighborhood, using it to call the neighborhood, but then you're using it to call open houses, and you really have a whole strategy that's centered around using Geo Leads, sounds like.
There's so I was just gonna say,
that's pretty interesting.
Oh yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So man, there's so what's your goal for say the rest of the year in 2017? What do you want to do?
So personally, I want to finish out, close those 10 to 12 deals. We are at 7 right now. And so I just want to close out those 10 to 12 deals, hit that goal. And then going into next year, it's kind of I'm a real systems guy, Jason. I'm a real, making sure every piece of my system is operating correctly and efficiently and effective. And at the same time, we maximize the potential of that system. So we scale up whatever it is. So right now I have my marketing team in place. I have my videographers. I have my photographers. I have an assistant. I have a transaction coordinator. And now the only thing that I'm doing is the sales part and the real estate part. And so putting people in escrow, and then my assistant's closing the escrow for me. The next piece that I want to delegate out going into next year so I can really ramp up production is an ISA, or I like to call them a business development manager, because that's what they're doing. They're developing my business. And so right now I'm actually hiring. I'm actually on a weekly basis. Actually, I just started this week. But on a weekly basis, I'm going to look for somebody that is a salesman, and so I can have them on the phone every single day, calling 4 to 6 hours a day, and literally just scheduling appointments for me and the future agents that are hired. And so I want that last piece of the puzzle going into 2017, so we can hit 2017 really, really hard.
Wow. So I mean, you got roughly 3 months and a week to hire this person. That's
Yeah.
cool. But you're getting set up though, man. If you hire them now, you can have them trained and everything, before December 1st, and then going into January, you're ready to go.
Yeah, I know January. That's when all those expired come in, and so we're
Cool, man.
just getting
Cool.
equipped for it.
Well, yeah, dude. Well, I tell you what, I've got agents in my group and agents that listen to my YouTube that are from all over the country. So if we want to get in touch with you, to send you a referral, or by chance somebody hears this wants to use you as an agent there in the Inland Empire, how do they get in touch with you?
Yes. So you can either go to my Facebook. It's pretty cool. Facebook actually started the @ symbol now. So my Facebook is @Cameron.theassociate. And if you want to get a hold of me on Instagram, it's @Cameron_theassociate. And then my number 909-809-8463. And then my email is Cameron.theassociate@gmail.com.
Cool, man. So I got one other question for you, and then we'll turn off the recording, man. So if I was a newer agent or even an experienced agent in the business, would you recommend Redx Geoleads?
Yes, I definitely would, because it's a phenomenal. If you have the right thing to say to the people that you're calling in the neighborhood, which is super easy. I mean, you can leverage listings in your office and just letting them know that. Obviously, speaking to the agent at first and getting their permission, but for $50 a month, even with no auto dialer, I would be doing that all day.
No kidding.
I would really.
You
Yeah.
can't look up those numbers yourself for $50. I tell people that all the time. You got to have something that when you get to the office, you open up your laptop and you're ready to go. You don't have to think about it or do anything. You just open it up and start dialing. So cool. Well, anybody listen to this, if you call Redx, tell them that you're a part of my group or you're part of Jason Morris's group. They'll waive setup fees, and then they have some other packages and incentives, man. So, hey, I really appreciate you. I really appreciate you being on the call with me today. Thank you.
Yeah, most definitely. I do appreciate it. You too, Jason. And then one more thing to all the agents out there. I really want to stress this. I really stress this to every single agent that I come across, whether new or you've been in the business. I feel that we need to do a better job of bringing professionalism back to the business, bringing quality back to the business. I really feel that that's really lost. And what I mean by professionalism is learning how to fundamentally know how to negotiate so we can negotiate great deals for our buyers and for our sellers. Learning how to fundamentally and elegantly sell so we know how to sell these properties that are coming up and we're not just clicking it and just putting it on the market. And just giving a little bit more effort on the business side of real estate. And so I think that's why I stand out in my market, is because I really took the time to educate myself on business and really understand my clients, my buyers, what they want, and what my sellers, what they want. And so I really think that's why I'm really standing out from these guys who's been in the business for 15, 20 years. And obviously I'm utilizing Geo Leads and a lot of other social media and also the traditional marketing in order to stand out and brand myself for short-term and long-term business. And so I just really want to get that message across the whole real estate industry, because as soon as you get that R badge, that realtor badge, that you're now representing the real estate industry. And so people are really good at generalizing and just like seeing, as soon as they see an agent not really giving their full potential, they start to generalize and they're like, hey, I guess the whole market's like that. And so, I just wanted to say that everybody really do a diligent job of making sure.
I agree, man. It's definitely an industry that the bar could be raised in. I mean, it's in the level of professionalism. I'd like to see it go a lot higher than what it is. And hopefully over time, there seems to be a lot of great brand new agents coming into the industry, and hopefully they're going to change it here in the future. Anyway, man, you have a great night. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
You too, Jason. Thank you so much, and thank you all the agents that follow Jason and his real estate group on Facebook.